So, day 7, March 2024. Did you miss it? The space? So, we are here. We will have a conversation quite simple, quite clear, presenting to the G20 and representing the interests, including mine as individual and creditor. The Article 5 guarantee 33 of the Brazilian Constitution that it says that the public department must do the information and report what you require as foreigner or national. It's the Article 5, the caput, or the first line, right? If you do not accomplish this, I have the guarantee that the law will do the punishment of this discrimination and can be the international law locally applied after I set the local law to allow the international law applied at the local of those crimes distortion observed, proved, including the economic espionage and the harassment. You always need the gap as logical gap, or you do the evasive behavior. And you had this based on fake records. By this we are using the guarantee 33. It's free. We will check that the pattern of distortion can be in different area. Notice as something that indeed will put the concurrence at this if you had the perception or the sense as cognitive advantage and it's collinear, a segment having the variance of two or more sides as covariance by the same stimulus, like a heroin new shot or a new advantage illegally to obtain the money and sustain devices at the chair level on heroin. And by this, not her leading to terror and narco-terror groups and the protection as military goal by the corruption of the defensive system and the security system. Observe that the police and that the military forces in Brazil have this quite clear. And then we had the system of criminality presenting ideas and having the representatives to show the OC purpose, and you are putting away the interest of the society, but you put down also your legitimacy. And the G20 will have this at the Risk Report 2024 trace march.blogspot.com. The current post you will have 2 persons, 3, 4, the moral entity, but the one chief of the security at the 90s, a local deputy at the same place, complain kind of the same object in different moment with different patterns as structure or composition. In the 90s you have some officers at the criminal activity, and the millennium you had kind of officers in two or more types of criminal activity sourced at 2 or more department or power, like the executive as government or the judicial including the police and prosecution, and also the Congress as House of Representatives. And we will check that indeed this changed the behavior of government, corporations, and society. Global corporations complaining this, even as a stakeholder. Then we will check that this kind of thing indeed will put you not anymore as a risk situation, but as a vulnerable situation, which is a deeper level of structured risk as concrete possibility of damage. We experience this equally and also at the economic espionage. After you cross all barriers and limits that has no excuse to be crossed of my privacy, my private life and private living, and the deep intimacy, including my thoughts, even if I have an invented dialogue or monologue to prove how deep is the intensity of criminal activity on abusive procedures. By this, we are charging 40 trillions regressed against Rio de Janeiro City and Saquarema City, part of the Federative Unit Rio de Janeiro, that is holding and hosting the G20 with a lot of criminal activities on it, planned on public department, based on misuse of power, blind eye, fake records, and with a lot of authorities involved at least since the 90s, as you can observe at the video on the social media. And then we will move to the entire Brazil as integrated fail Article 74 and 23 item 1. You do not accomplish your own constitution criminal system, which is Brazil as major offender and peers major offender in Brazil, observing the G20, the previous COVID-19, the previously even as FIFA 14, Olympics 16. And then we move to the G20 associated with Brazil, making the violations. You had no excuse and systematically made. We requested to the International Criminal Court and also the Antitrust Just Europe and USA or any other judicial power with the sincere interest to be strong against the organized crime in the way we have, that are indeed making judicial decisions, the creation of law, or even running governments. And so, doing thematic panel, using this concept of everything to take advantage of anything, or even create the big crisis to push we all as forgetting all things made and have concern with those new crises, including war, civil war, or a great third war. And the association on terror groups and narco-terror groups in Brazil go by any way, including the silence, the blind eye association and the fake records. And by this we are proving that the public department is related with terror practices also, right? And paramilitary has no excuse at the Constitution. You take a look at the plot. Legal reasons are there, as Brazilian legal reasons internationally applied to call the international application of the law and consequence. Holding the case, USA, Europe, and maybe Japan as contribution, kind of fingering the overpriced contracts with the Nissan, for instance, during the period of Olympics or whatever. And we expect that we didn't have the dismissed down here, that our offenders present themselves on embassy with authorities with legitimacy to kill if the corruption in Brazil had the concurrence of China. Indeed, is corruption of China punished by capital punishment, or the corruption of both Brazil and China also can go on China, and we are expecting the kind of responsiveness in the way the Chinese people do, which is the capital punishment, or they will be noticed and with a label as a big stamp, weakness, institutional power. The object is qualified, segmented, codified, and individualized. But it's not my responsibility to pull the trigger. I set the encounter on embassy. Justice. Have a great weekend, and I bet that you will try to escape your way. Right criminal system, make a sound, but do an embassy. Shalom.